Jamie and Stephen show.
Hello.
Let's talk movies, music and magic. Don't put me off when I'm trying to remember the title.
I think you got it right this time, Stephen.
Yeah, well, I've written it down.
So we're on the 9th classic.
Yes, which is...
Fun and Fancy 3.
Yes.
4th package film.
Yes.
Still got 3 more to go. 2 more to go.
2 more after this one.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, I can't believe that we're looking forward to Cinderella.
Right, so Fun and Fancy 3. Now, oh my god, was this so much better than the previous one?
Oh, to the point where they're just different. They're different companies making them.
Yeah, this is Disney.
Yeah, this definitely felt like Disney.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right, so let's just dive in. I've got my IMDb synopsis. So, Jiminy Cricket hosts 2 Disney animated shorts, Bongo, about a circus bear escaping to the wild, and Mickey and the Beanstalk, a take on the famous fairy tale. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah. I have one.
Okay.
Mickey and friends steal back a load of stuff from a giant who seems to have learning difficulties. Not necessarily the thing you want to show your kids. Stealing's good.
It was released in 1947.
Yeah, if you say so, yeah.
Yeah. And it's got a couple of stars in it.
Yeah.
That were at that time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not famous to us.
No.
But, because there were stars of that era. So I've got 3 of the main ones. So you've got Edgar Bergen, who's the ventriloquist.
Yes.
And he's hosting the parties in between.
I did find that weird.
Well, but I've got the reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the reason. Dinah Shore.
Yes, from Make My Music.
Yeah.
Sang 2 silhouettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she does Bongo.
Yes.
And this is good. And then obviously the little girl, Luana Patton.
Yes.
Yeah. Who we know from Song of the South.
Yeah.
So Dear to My Heart.
Yeah.
Anything else?
She's in Melody Time.
Yeah, which is the next one. So
the next one, yeah.
I don't know how much it cost, but I know that it made over 3 million at the box office.
That's about 3 million in profit then, because
I don't.
The animation's a bit.
Oh no, I like this one. I like the animation in this one.
I thought that the animation for the Mickey and the Beanstalk was better than Bongo.
Oh, I thought they were about the same.
I did think it was a bit. But that was just me.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Shall we get into the facts?
Yes. Shall we start with Bongo?
Yeah. Let's start with Bongo then.
Go on then.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll tell you.
She's looking at me as if I've got a page of facts in front of me.
Before we get into the individual short facts, I've written down that about Edgar Bergen.
Yes.
Because apparently he was really famous.
Yeah.
At the time, as a radio star.
Yeah.
And
which is weird because he's a ventriloquist. I know. And it's like, I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
Being a ventriloquist, like. Yeah.
So basically, on the radio, I would have said he was a voice actor.
Yeah, voice artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than, but obviously he obviously did the radio performances with his puppets, and obviously those puppets would have probably been photographed and whatnot.
Yeah.
And apparently the puppets that he's famous for are the ones that are featured in the bits that he's in.
One of them is in the it's on display. It's on display in Washington after he died. I think it's the one with the monocle. I did not write the names down.
I know I didn't. I think the monocle one is his most famous.
Yeah. The other one,
The one that wears the hat.
Yeah, so do you know the puppeteer Jeff Durham? You might know his puppets that he does, mainly Ahmed, who's the dead terrorist.
No.
It's the skeleton, and I think he was on America's Got Talent or something.
Oh.
You'll know, it's where he goes, "Silence! I'll kill you!" And it's the skeleton, and it's... No?
No.
Well, anyway, one of his characters is based on the one with the hat.
Oh, right, okay.
And he said that it's a very much that Edgar was
a hero.
One of his,
right,
idols,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not something that we see a lot of.
Not really.
Is
I
it?
like puppet things.
I mean, obviously there was a few men with puppets when we were kids on British TV, but I wouldn't have necessarily said they were a ventriloquist.
No, because
there was
Sooty didn't speak.
Yeah, and the bird, the green bird. Remember?
Orville.
I
can fly.
And then there was
It was Emu.
The emu.
I remember. And Zippy. Rainbow.
Yeah. So,
those.
but I wouldn't have said they were ventriloquists.
No, because you didn't see the performer.
No.
Well.
But you did, but they didn't try and
it wasn't.
not move their mouth.
It was very obvious that they had a puppet.
Yeah.
So, and I suppose they're different kind of puppets
Yeah.
as well. Like, one fact that I did have about him is Edgar appeared in the Muppet movie in the 70s.
Oh, did he?
The original one, yes. But he died in 1978, so the film is dedicated to him.
Oh.
So.
It's not one that I watch often.
Jamie.
I know.
Right.
Next
Next time we do a bonus episode, the Muppet movie.
The original one.
The original one.
We put on the Muppet Caper the other day, and
Oh well, that's why.
yeah. But anyway, so the birthday. You wanted to know. You didn't get why they were having a birthday.
It wasn't so much that. It was what I didn't get is why a man and his two puppets had invited
The little girl.
a little
over.
girl, and only the little girl,
And
to
Jiminy.
the party. He wasn't invited.
Did he get crushed?
He read someone else's mail and was like, "Oh, that sounds good," and nipped over and had himself a bit of chocolate cake. Like,
to be fair,
that
he
should have been
doesn't
the
actually.
synopsis.
He doesn't actually interact with them, does he?
Not really. No.
No.
No, he's not. No.
But yeah, but the whole party thing is because when they decided to make these two into shorts and put them as one feature film, it was obviously released the year before Mickey's 20th, and apparently to promote this film, Disney hosted birthday parties across America.
Okay,
So they inserted this birthday party scene in between the two shorts, or at the start, so like the beginning, the middle and the end.
Yeah.
And it was all to part of, I think, so that when it did go on TV, it was yeah.
Because he did appear, Edgar Bergen did appear on Disney's TV shows.
show.
For some reason, I think he appeared on the first episode, but I might be wrong on that.
Okay.
It was very early on that he appeared, anyway.
Yeah. Right, Bongo. So,
Bongo.
facts about Bongo. So, what do you have?
So I've got that Bongo was originally considered at one point to be a prequel to Dumbo. Obviously, it's set in the circus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got something similar, but I didn't read that it was a prequel.
It was meant to be.
Okay.
Well, it didn't appear to be, but it was meant to be, and it was going to have some of the supporting characters,
Okay,
but it was dropped.
right. See, what I've got is that originally both films were supposed to be feature length.
Yep.
And that Bongo was gonna, because he's part of the circus, they were gonna have Dumbo sort of make an appearance somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
was literally what I got was some of the cast
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
Bongo, so...
So unless they were throwing all sorts of ideas out at that time,
they would have been
it
at
would
this
have
point.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things with Bongo was it was part of when they were doing the pitches and things like that. Is all of these films that we see, especially in this one and Ichabod and Mr. Toad, they were all feature length.
Yeah.
Or meant to be feature length. But and along with Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan and that era as well, they were all kind of shelved.
Yeah.
To make way for the fabulous film which is Make Mine Music.
Oh.
And for the Three Caballeros and Saludos Amigos.
Yeah.
So a lot of these were all kind of shelved ideas.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I read
with
that as well.
Bongo, I think it got to the stage where it was kind of outlined and before it was shelved. I think that's the same for Mickey and the Beanstalk as well.
I read as well that apparently the animation for Mickey and the Beanstalk was actually almost finished.
Oh, okay.
Because it was supposed to be released early.
But Walt didn't think it was a standard? Did you get that?
Oh no, I got it was because he lost 90% of his staff to making the war
enough.
stuff. Yeah, because they had to make all those war
Propaganda,
yeah. He didn't have the staff, so he had to obviously put it on hold, and then that's when they decided to put together the Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros.
Yeah. I mean, I have more facts about Mickey and the Beanstalk than I do Bongo.
I've got like a general... I've got that Bongo was inspired by a story written by Sinclair Lewis, and it appeared in a 1930 issue of the Cosmopolitan. Now, is this the same Cosmopolitan that we know today, or is this a different magazine? Because otherwise, wow, has that changed?
It might be the same.
Do you think?
Yeah, because... I mean, you've got a distance between these, but stories like Sherlock Holmes and the Charles Dickens books, they were serialised. So they came out in magazines and newspapers and then put together into the ones that we know now. So it could be that...
I mean, I know obviously Cosmopolitan is a beauty fashion magazine and it's mainly targeted for women, and I suppose Bongo is kind of a love story.
Yeah, it could
so
have been.
Maybe... Yeah. But yeah, Cosmopolitan.
I know.
Who
when
would
I
have
read
thought?
that, I was like, Cosmo?
Yeah.
Does the bear love me? Slap him and find out.
Yeah, that was something I could not find anything about why the whole bear slapping thing. I mean, it's like we've got the tale of penguins giving pebbles, to show their love, and this whole bear slapping another bear to show they love each other. I mean, talk about encouraging domestic violence.
Just go for it. That's 2 films in a row now.
I mean, at the time, I'm sure it would have been, ha ha ha, how funny is that? Slapping someone instead of, writing a love letter or giving them a flower.
I wonder if there's anything to do with, when they say if someone is bullying you, it's because they fancy you, at school.
Maybe.
They're only mean to you because they like you.
Whereas nowadays,
won't pass.
No. You would not see a cartoon.
No.
And especially the size of, the
bear.
He's huge, and poor little Bongo and Lulabelle is the female bear. They're so tiny.
Yeah,
they're like cubs.
Yeah.
And then this is like big grizzly bear.
I genuinely thought they're cubs and this is a big grizzly bear. He deserved to go over that waterfall.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
But it's funny when... Well, we'll get to it when we talk about the actual films. So, but yeah. I'm trying to see, have I got anything else for... Oh yeah, so he only managed to secure the rights for Bongo in 1940.
Okay. okay, so
Yeah.
just a few years
Just. Well, because it was planned to come out just after that, 1941 or 1940. That was because it was supposed to be a feature-length film, and he only just got the rights in 1940.
before.
So I don't know if maybe the war has an effect on that.
I think it'd just be a thing with the rights. I know when we get to Ichabod and Mr. Toad, I know the rights for Wind in the Willows, because that at the time it was made was only like, by the time he got the rights for it, which I think was around the time he was making Snow White.
Oh, so quite
So
early.
when you put that into context, literally the book was like 20, 25
Yeah.
years
And I
old.
suppose this was in the magazine in 1930,
Yeah.
so he only got it 10 years after its original release.
Yeah. And if we think about just in modern time, well, not modern times, but like Harry Potter, that was what, 97?
Yeah.
First one?
Yeah.
And the film was what,
2001?
2001? So the
2002?
rights would have been, what,
Yeah.
3-4 years?
Yeah.
So double that.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
got, so.
Another one, when Bongo was in production, there was supposed to be 3 other characters.
Okay.
A monkey called Chimpy.
Do you know what? Okay, so me and Luke have a laugh about this.
Okay.
Because when I was looking that up, the original name for Chimpy was Beverly, which is Luke's mum's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So.
Yeah, so we've got Chimpy, and then there was going to be another 2 bear cubs, but they didn't have names. So,
No,
yeah,
just-
I'm kind of glad that those characters were in. But I think that was when it was supposed to be longer.
Yes, if this was a full-length film, they would need.
But
more
as a
characters.
short,
Yeah.
no. That was a good idea to take those characters out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could go on to Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the
I mean,
Beanstalk.
Mickey
Dude.
and the Beanstalk.
Wow. If anyone out there is looking for a job, you do need to be called Jamie though.
No, Mickey and the Beanstalk. So facts. Go.
So its original name was The Legend of Happy Valley,
Oh.
which is why it's called Happy Valley in the
Yeah.
finished film, and it was meant to be partnered with The Wind in the Willows, in a film called Two Fabulous Characters.
Oh.
And then Walt kind of looked at them all, swapped them, changed them round, and this one was paired with Bongo, and Wind in the Willows was changed to Adventures of Mr. Toad,
And with Ichabod.
went with Ichabod.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Okay. So my big one for this is Walt Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he is voicing Mickey in this,
Mhm.
because I was always under the impression that he just did it like really early on and then didn't really do it after that because he was too busy.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was still voicing Mickey at this point,
Yeah.
and okay, he doesn't really have that much lines, but
But he couldn't do the voice brilliantly. It was his last time.
oh no, apparently he does do it in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh.
But it's his last film.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
his
it's his last
release
film.
on,
Oh yeah, because obviously he's a lot older.
And he was a smoker.
Yeah, he couldn't
He
do the
couldn't
high
get
voice
that.
as much. Yeah, of
There was an
course.
interview somewhere where he's actually Walt as we know him, the
Uh-huh,
older Walt,
yeah.
and he does the voice for Mickey. I think it's in the Mickey documentary on
Yes.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and he tries to do it.
and
but
it's Mickey
yeah.
Mouse, you know. But
It's not quite as.
I think we could have a go and do it better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're not.
I mean, he
but-
doesn't have any of his signature sounds and phrases in this.
No.
In fact, there isn't really any famous lines that he has in this film.
Not so. There was a myth that he got his replacement to do some reshoots to
Is
do
this
the
the
relines.
McDonald guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a myth.
Oh, okay.
Walt Disney did all the voice for Mickey in this film.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes this film even more special to me.
Yeah,
Because this film, which we'll get to at the end, it has this film was big in my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Gilbert. the voice of Willie the Giant, we have already mentioned him.
Okay.
Because he's Sneezy.
Okay.
In Snow White.
Going back a few weeks. We've had Christmases.
Yeah, and he is famous for his sneezing acting.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a lot of the actors at that time, he was a famous radio actor. And
Did TV exist?
No, 50s was 50s.
In
the
UK
cinemas
anyway.
did.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think. No.
You did mention sneezes. The sneeze for Mickey Mouse was taken from what's it called? The tailor.
Oh yeah.
The other short.
The short that he does, yes. Which also has a giant in it.
Oh, do you know what? I've not seen it.
Oh, have you not?
No. So maybe we both should be sacked.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a giant in that as well. Yeah, I've got. Jacob's got the Jim Shore ornament of that, and because he's leaning on a pair of scissors.
Yes, I have the ornament.
Oh, the Christmas ornament.
The Christmas, I got a set of Mickey
the
through the
Mickey,
ages for his 90th.
Yeah, 90th. Yeah.
And he's one of those.
Oh, yeah, but no. So that and he obviously does Willie. Willie the Giant in Sneezy, that's what he's famous for, and then obviously we see Willie the Giant in other stuff in the future. Yeah, apparently it's in the comics.
I don't know too much about the comics.
No, I don't, but by what I've read, like just on especially these package films, because so many of these characters are featured in these comics. The comics were big at that time.
Well,
and I think
if you look elsewhere with just Marvel and DC and it's the era of the comics.
So and like Jose and but there's another character that we're going to see in the package film. Like most of these characters are all featured in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we should
read a comic.
I know. I'm surprised we can't get like a book collection of them or something.
Do you know what? I will say that a few years ago, on the way back from Disneyland Paris, I bought.
Oh, the Popolino.
No, it was a thick Mickey Mouse comic.
But it was in French.
But it was all in French. So I thought, you know what? I can learn
this.
Yeah, it never happened. So I think he went to a charity shop.
Oh. Yeah, no, when we were in Disneyland Paris, like we saw the Popolinos like in all the newsagents, in the airport, but it was all in French. To be fair, should really get as I'm learning French.
Yeah. And also you're in France.
Yeah. But yeah. Have you got any facts? Any other facts? Go.
I do. So, in the film we don't actually see where Mickey got the beans from.
Oh,
we know that he swapped them with the cow. There were two scenes, both deleted, obviously. One was the Queen, which was going to be played by Minnie Mouse, gives Mickey the magic beans as a thank you.
Oh, okay.
And a second one was Gideon from Pinocchio, so the silent cat who kidnaps Pinocchio, or helps.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
He helps trick Mickey into swapping his cow for beans. There's another character that does it, but he's in the background. Walt didn't think it was important how he got the beans. So...
it certainly wasn't when I was a kid. I definitely didn't question it, although I do question it now as an adult, but that's simply because I'm really paying attention to the story. Whereas when you're a kid, you don't really. You're just like, oh, Mickey! Oh, magic beans! Oh my god, there's a beanstalk!
What got me more was that cow was their best friend.
I know.
So let's sell her.
To me, do you know what it is? What overshadows the fact that we have no idea how Mickey Mouse gets these beans is Donald's reaction.
Which bit?
So when he says, beans! And Donald gets so mad and like he's so annoyed that Mickey has swapped the cow, because obviously he tried to eat the cow, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have had steak.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like, you
got...
swapped it for beans.
Yeah.
And then, because it's obviously...
Had beans.
Yeah.
At the beginning there is
yeah,
the
because
bean.
they slice the
slicing
bean.
It.
It's like the thinnest.
Yeah.
Because that's when Donald runs out to get the cow. And
yeah.
I know. Because isn't it? It's because Donald gets angry and fights, and that's how the beans end up falling down.
Yeah, he throws them.
Yeah, they fall down, but yeah. So I think that whole scene overshadows the...
Yeah.
You never question,
no.
Where did you get the beans from?
And it's like, in the grand scheme of things, in this short, is it important?
Yeah, no.
It's not.
Not really.
No. A further scene, talking about Donald, was going to see Donald have a bit of trouble with the giant's cat, who was going to be Figaro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if we look at the original...
So that would have been 2 characters from Pinocchio.
3, Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, yeah.
So literally the recurring characters in this film, if we don't know who it would have been from Dumbo, but let's say there'll be characters there, you'd have had Jiminy Cricket, Figaro, Gideon, Mickey, Donald, Goofy. They're all returning characters to the film.
I wonder if this was possibly... It must have been in pre-production the same time as Pinocchio. Because I've also gotten written down that the Fun and Fancy Free song, that was supposed to be in Pinocchio.
Yes, the original from what Jiminy sings at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got cut.
Yeah.
So then they used it in this.
Yeah.
And that's why they call the package film Fun and Fancy Free.
It's such a... It's hard to explain. It almost feels like a straight-to-video release.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
But obviously videos didn't exist then.
No. And that's why I think there's like a lot of repeating of the characters. It's like, oh, let's see what we can do. And maybe Pinocchio was just the nearest thing.
It must have been. There must have been around doing it, because obviously back then they wouldn't have had the multiple studios that they have now, where several films are going off at the same time. They were all together and working together, you know, and storyboarding together. So they must have done these two alongside each other. And then, because of the war and losing the staff, he had to shelve this. And then obviously, because it's just so bizarre, like you saying that's 2 other characters from Pinocchio that would have been in this. Thank God they didn't put them in.
It's the 2nd film appearance for Mickey, and the 3rd for Donald.
Okay.
In the animated classics.
Right.
I think the next time that Mickey appears, that's not like a hidden Mickey or an Easter egg or like watching the Little Mermaid sing. I think the next time is Fantasia 2000.
No, it'll be Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Not one of the classics.
Oh, yeah. Is Fantasia 2000 the classic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to have to watch that.
Okay, I didn't realise that was part of the classics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll both cry.
No, I like that one.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
Anyway.
But it is the last, the 3rd for Donald, and then he appears in the next one as well. So the other thing that I have is Walt Disney actually loved the pitch for this. He was laughing. He loved the whole thing. He actually grabbed other people to come and listen to the pitch, and then said that they won't do it because it would murder his characters. So I don't really know what he means by that.
Oh.
Because I don't think it did any damage to his characters, and actually looking back at it now, I think Mickey and the Beanstalk is one of the most famous outings for Mickey.
I don't know.
No?
I'd say Mickey's Christmas Carol is. I know it's not part of the classics, but...
Yeah, but I just mean like if you was to say, list me 5 things that Mickey Mouse...
I don't think people would list this.
Really?
I wouldn't. And although I like it, and I had it on video, and I have a special...
I was convinced that Mickey and the Beanstalk was its own classic film. I didn't know it was in another film.
No, I
until
didn't.
got them on DVD.
That's because I only had this on video
On
its own, and it didn't have the party scene.
No. Well, I'll get onto that a little bit.
Okay, yes, yeah, because
one more
fact.
But basically, Walt didn't have the confidence in it, and neither did RKO.
Oh yeah, who distributes the
Yeah, so no one really had faith in it. I did.
Yeah.
I would have had faith. However, one of the things that I found, and I can't remember if it's for this or whether it's for Bongo, but basically when the storyboard was written and completed, Pearl Harbor happened on the same day or the day
I
before,
read
the
that
day after,
when the script was finalised
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, I read that.
and then obviously a lot of things were shelved. So yeah, they're the facts that I have for
Okay.
Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, I think I did read as well, and it could be one of the reasons why even though he was concerned about how those characters would be perceived, I did read that again because Mickey's popularity wasn't.
Yeah, it was going down.
Yeah, by when it was released,
Yeah.
he obviously thought, right, Donald is outperforming here. We need to bump Mickey up again, which he tried to do with Fantasia, with Sorcerer's Apprentice,
Yeah.
and 7 years later, he now brings this out from the shelf and says, right, we need to get Mickey back on the forefront. So, yeah. That must have been how that managed to get the go-ahead in the end, because he thought, well, we need something with Mickey in it.
Yeah.
He's our mascot, and yet people are like
Very
Donald.
Yeah.
Um,
One other thing that I do have about Mickey and the Beanstalk, it's not really a fact about the film, but it's linked, is, I don't know if you heard, but there was an abandoned animated classic called Gigantic, which was based on Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
If that went ahead, because it went into production.
Yeah, it did.
It would have been the first. Sorry, Jack and the Beanstalk would have been the first fairy story to feature in 2 animated classics that were not a sequel.
Yeah.
So that would.
But like you've just said, Walt did shelve the idea originally because he was concerned about his characters.
Yeah.
They cut a lot of things out of it. Obviously, when they tried to attempt to do the film or that story again,
it ran into issues.
They obviously came across very similar issues where.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like a story like everybody knows the basis of Jack and the Beanstalk. How are you going to make it different?
Well, it's always struck me out that they haven't done Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh yeah.
And yet that's such a well-known story, and I would almost put it in the same set as this. Like Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, they could well be in the same universe.
The Three Bears.
Yeah.
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
And and he's not attempted those into full feature films. I just.
But yeah, very interesting. So let's get to, what everyone's dying to hear, Stephen. What you thought of these 2 shorts or the film overall?
I wasn't keen on Bongo.
Oh.
I liked the Mickey and the Beanstalk, but I've seen that quite a few times. I didn't have it on video growing up, but we watched it at school quite a lot.
Oh, did you?
So the school must have had the video.
Yeah, must have.
And I remember seeing it quite a lot. So I do remember it. I had the book, the Disney.
Yes, I had the book as well.
What was it? The library.
Yes, the library. Yes. Oh, 90s kids. They tried to bring it back several times.
Yeah.
Because I nearly went down that road with Jacob when he was a baby. I was like, I'm going to get these again. And then it was like, how much?
Do you know what? Me and Luke have near enough a full collection between us.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you still got the library?
I've
Like the Mickey Blue,
got the little blue
plastic thing that only holds like 5.
Yeah. It's in the kids' room now as we speak. Yes, waiting for a new
child.
A new child
To read
them. Yes. But so yeah, I did like Mickey and the Beanstalk, but with Bongo I just weren't bothered. I preferred it all
Okay.
to make
my music.
I preferred it all to the Three Caballeros and Saludos Amigos. But there is no way that it's going to get a good score from me as a film.
Okay.
Sauce.
Oh.
What about you?
I only, because I've said this to you before. This package film in particular, as it is with the party, Bongo, and as a whole, I have to watch quite a lot because of Jacob.
Yeah.
This is one of Jacob's obscure go-to films, and he's been watching it now for ever since Disney Plus.
Wow.
Yeah, ever since we've had Disney Plus, he's put it on. It's weird.
Does he have a favourite segment, or is it the whole film?
He'll watch it's Bongo. Now, when he first started, yeah. So I have watched Bongo more than I thought I would, but
Yeah.
I do.
I've watched it about 3 times now, and I've watched it more than I thought.
Yeah, no, like when Jacob will put it on, I'll be like, yeah, we'll put Bongo on. Yeah, come on then, let's put Bongo on, and yeah. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's a...
And she is so cute.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote down, why is Bongo and Lulabelle not in the parks instead of Thumper and Lady Bunny? And
the
the chipmunk girl.
Like,
now, if you go, I don't know about the parks in America, but in Disneyland Paris, for some reason, they love the female chipmunk, and she is always featured in their parades.
do you know what?
I don't even know her name, but
in America, it's Oswald's girlfriend.
oh really?
Yeah. You see her. You see the chipmunk's girl. I want to call it's not Clarice, but it's
Clarabelle. Clarabelle Clown.
No, it's-
Oh, you mean
It's
Oswald's?
Clarice. Oh no,
Oh.
that's on Setter or something like that. But Chippendales.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, who knows? But
I
yeah,
don't know
she's
the
always
female
there.
chipmunk's name, but she is. Now you can't buy her merch.
No.
But for
Good.
some reason, she is heavy in
Now-
their parades and shows.
So
And
I-
she's raunchy. Like,
I
she's
have a
always
bit
got
of
a slit up
theory.
the skirt.
Well, I have a bit of theory about these.
Okay.
You should mention it because
Yeah.
I was like, oh. There is, and I can never remember his name, but there is a bear which is featured in the Wilderness Lodge. She's their mascot, and he appeared in quite a few shorts. He was one of. So, other than the main ones that we know, he's the only other Disney character to have his own range of shorts.
Right, okay.
And I can't remember his name.
Isn't it the one in Bongo? That's the big one.
No, it's very.
But he looks similar.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And I can never remember his name, but he is the Wilderness Bear,
Right,
Wilderness Lodge,
Right.
and he's the symbol, and he's
Okay.
everywhere there. And obviously in Disneyland Paris, you've got Sequoia Lodge, which is
But they don't have him.
their version.
Yeah, but they don't have him there.
No, so I'm wondering whether that's why. Maybe they've just updated it with the chipmunks,
I
and
don't
in
know.
fairness, you've got boys and girls. But also, I don't know if you remember Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
She looks like the girl from Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Again, can't remember the name.
No. But no, I think they are dead cute, and especially with the, the fact that it's on Disney Plus, and that what's the teddy bear that is become popular and it's really big in the East Asian parks?
What is
Mickey's teddy bear.
Yeah.
What's that called again? And we had the merch in the Disney store.
It'll be on my tongue. You see, I went over to Build-A-Bear where the actual bears and outfits
What
were.
was the teddy bear that they do a huge range?
Yeah.
We'll have to Google it.
We'll have to Google
Yeah.
it. Do you know what? It's
Anyway.
a shame that Jess isn't here because she would know.
Yeah. My point is, he has now got Duffy.
Duffy.
Right, so Duffy is so popular, especially over in the East Asian parts, so Tokyo, Shanghai, Hong Kong, like huge, and he has all these friends. And we could have Lulabelle and Bongo, and they are actual characters from films. They're not made for merch.
No.
These are real characters, and they could be.
I actually thought, do you know what? It's a shame that they don't feature these characters in like the Christmas bears.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you've got two bears
Yeah.
that are cute
Yeah.
anyway.
Everybody
regardless.
loves cute little bears.
You've got one in a little pink little skirt, if that's what you're into, and you've got another one with a little hat and jacket. You have got two ready-made.
She wears a pink flower.
Oh, she's got a little pink.
Yeah. She's got a pink flower.
See,
I mean, dead cute.
they're made for merchandise.
Yeah, this film could get a lot more awareness
And
if.
they could do shorts with them.
I know.
They could do
Yeah.
loads of shorts and
Yeah. I think they're definitely missing a trick there, but.
yeah. Who are we?
But yeah, I know. I mean,
Who are
okay, the slap thing is questionable.
It is.
And that could maybe be the reason why it's not.
Yeah.
But then again, this film doesn't have the warning.
The little warning.
The
at
little warning
beginning.
on the front,
No.
does it?
And not only that, like, you know, there are certain things in films now. I mean, Hans literally grabs a sword
Yeah.
and is about to cut
Yeah,
on
cut.
his hand in
Yeah.
half by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Disney's not shy from violence.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One bear slaps another.
But yeah, no, I do. I can watch this. And when Jacob decides to put it on, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's sit and watch it. It's cute. It's.
I wouldn't choose to watch it, but
Okay.
I must admit, I mean, for me, I don't class Ichabod and Mr. Toad as one of these package shorts because I actually like it.
Oh.
Whereas this one, I think, is the best of the package shorts. But yeah, none of these shorts are gonna get 5 out of 5 for me. Anyway,
No,
so,
no.
Yeah.
Okay. Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, you're right. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to score individually?
No, I mean, like, what was your thoughts? You liked it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did
yeah.
like that. I, as I say, I thought it would. Growing up, I thought it was its own
So did I.
thing. I tell you what, I did find out about these. When Bongo was re-released as a standalone, Jiminy Cricket narrated it. Can you guess who did Mickey and the Beanstalk?
You're going to say Sterling Holloway, aren't you?
I'm going to say Sterling
yeah,
Holloway.
Yeah, I did read that. I've
Yeah.
never heard of Sterling Holloway's version.
No.
But my video, it was Ludwig.
Who?
Ludwig.
No, you're going to have to come back
Yeah,
to me.
you know Ludwig. He's the scientist duck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. If you just said his full name, Ludwig
von Drake. Yeah, Ludwig von Drake. So he was...
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I remember is because the way he said Happy Valley. Like the way he says it in his weird... I can hear him saying
never.
it in my head.
Well,
And that was who narrated it on my videotape.
Because I like to bring up a fact every time we talk about Sterling
Yeah.
Holloway, and I've kind of snuck this in.
Oh, okay.
But basically, it's kind of linked to the film as well.
Okay.
Because if this was a prequel to Dumbo, then
Bongo.
Bongo, then there is a short called Lambert the Sheepish Lion,
Yes.
released in 1951, and Sterling Holloway reprised
Yes.
Mr. Stork.
Yes, I love Lambert the Sheepish
Yeah.
Lion, and I thought that was in. Now again, you see, this is where my VHS tapes.
I lied to you.
Yes, because I had a VHS tape that had, and I think it was, what was the previous one that we watched? Sorry, Make My Music.
And you had the whale.
Yeah. Now I think the video I had, it had the operatic whale.
Yeah.
Lambert the sheepish lion.
Mhm.
And Ferdinand.
Oh, the bull.
Yeah. I swear I had a video and those three were on it.
You've just reminded me. So, when they're all talking about love and all stuff like that, the sequence of the bulls falling in love is Ferdinand the bull. It's a clip. They use the animation, and the storm is the animation from Bambi.
What, in Bongo?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
just
Oh.
little thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so my video, it was Ludwig. And yeah, again, like you, I thought, this is like a film.
Yeah. No, I genuinely
Now
thought it
it's
was
like,
a film.
oh, it's only, what is it, like 28 minutes?
Yeah, about that, yeah. I also thought the Three Musketeers or Three Mouseketeers? Which is it? You watch it all
the
the
Mickey
time.
and Goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Three Musketeers.
Musketeers, but it's ears at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I always thought that was an animated classic, and the Goofy movie.
Yeah,
The Goofy
and it's not.
And they're not.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be. When you've got Home on the Range sat there, and in the UK, The Wild,
When you've got these package films.
and you've got this. I mean, Make My Music is a
Oh,
classic,
don't.
and yet Mickey's Christmas Carol isn't.
I know! Shame on you, Disney.
Ugh.
Whoever decided that these would be classics, because somebody made that decision. It wasn't Walt Disney.
No, I don't think it existed as a classic.
No.
thing. And no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be there. I think it actually taints the franchise.
Yeah, at that time, yeah, which is a shame because, okay, we said this in the previous one, the war. Okay, it was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And it just shows the effect it had on everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're going through this now today with what's happening in our world.
Yeah.
It shows that something might be going on in another country, but it still affects other places as well. And this is an example of, you know, although this was a serious war, and okay, so what if this movie business or the movie business in general was affected? People died. But you can see what the effect had on the company, and thankfully they did come back from it.
But can you imagine a world where we had Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, Bambi, then Cinderella, then Alice in Wonderland? That could be the world.
But then,
but instead
would
we've
have
got all these
Cinderella,
six-
I mean, obviously we'll know when we get to Cinderella, but would have it been made the way that it was? Would have they had that technology?
Not sure,
Because when she does the dress, the turn, would have they been able to do that in 1941?
So there's a comment in Mickey and the Beanstalk where one of the puppets, and it's a big footprint, and it's like, well, it wasn't Cinderella. Cinderella was in production at the same time
really?
as that. Cinderella. So the 1950s were basically the 40s.
Right, but
So,
delayed.
Delayed. I mean, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, they were meant to be some of the first.
Right, okay.
And I believe when we get to it, I'll remember more, but I know that Lady and the Tramp should have been before.
Right.
Like, I think Cinderella was one of those that came into production and probably didn't have any delay on its release as such, compared to Alice in Wonderland, Lady and the Tramp, and Peter Pan.
Oh, well. Oh, what a lovely day. That song is so famous in my house because of Finlay. So because obviously Jacob has to watch
Yeah.
it so many times,
Yeah.
the song that is, it's the harp, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And she sings, "Oh, what a lovely day." When we're in Disney, that's what Finley sings as he's walking around the parks.
Well, he's not going to sing Zippity Doo Dah,
Which is so cute. I mean, obviously, you know, and especially at the minute, like, he's got no front teeth.
oh.
So when he sings it, so like when we were there in October last year, he just lost the middle two top.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, you was starting to speak a bit funny, and when he was singing that, oh my god, it was hilarious. But yeah, I had to write that down so I didn't forget. But yeah, no. I'm glad that my boys enjoy this film. I mean, obviously they watch it as a whole with Bongo, but I'm glad that they enjoy it, because I watched this heavily as a kid on video.
Yeah, it wasn't one that I heavily watched, but it was always on at school.
Yeah.
I just remember it always being on.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I was in secondary school, Shrek was always on. It was
Oh,
always the end of year thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that kind of thing
right,
for me.
okay. I couldn't find out when it would have been released on video, because in my mind, I swear I had it from like 1990.
Yeah, so I didn't write any of this down, but I believe that the Mickey and the Beanstalk section was released in the 80s,
Right, okay.
and then it's been released, just released.
Yeah.
Released.
But
It's been
I never saw Bongo as a whole
No.
until it was on Disney Plus and Jacob was watching it, and that was when I properly.
I saw them when I was on, when I got all the DVDs.
Right,
when I was
okay.
going through that period, and yeah, I remember watching it. This one, it means a little bit more to me now, but it was one of the films that my granddad always talked about when I was younger.
No.
And when I started working at the Disney store, he'd be like, "Oh, Funny Fancy Free," and I
Oh.
remember going to the cinema with that one,
Uh-huh.
and then he'd ask my nana, and she wouldn't remember.
Right.
And looking at the dates, they'd have been about 17.
Yeah.
So, because it was released in 1954 in the UK,
Oh, right, okay.
or 1951. It was released later anyway.
right,
It was
okay.
a lot later. As with all of these package films,
Yeah.
they were released later. But yeah, he would have been older, so it just, I always remember
Yeah.
that. So when we went to Florida before, I couldn't get anything Fun and Fancy Free, but I did get him a Mickey mug with the Mickey style head
Yeah.
of Fun and Fancy Free, because it was
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love going into that shop in Disneyland Paris with the Beanstalk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cute. And yeah, for those who don't know, in Disneyland Paris, behind the castle.
You need to do some plug-in. If you don't know, go over to Jamie's YouTube channel and go and have a look.
Yeah, it's Family Magic UK.
Yes.
And yeah, at the back of the castle is the Sword and the Stone, and there's a shop on either side. Now, with the castle behind you, the Mickey Beanstalk shop is more to the right, isn't it? You go round the
Yeah.
boutique thing where you can get like the makeup done.
Yeah, is that Bibbity
Bibbity.
Booty?
Yeah, although I don't think it's called that in Disneyland
okay.
Paris, but it's sort of that idea.
Yeah.
They'll make you like make over a princess sort of thing with face paint and blah blah blah, and there's a mirror, and round from that there's this giant beanstalk,
Yeah.
and the carousel's there,
Mhm.
and yeah, and it's a shop, and it's called Mickey something.
Yeah.
The shop has got Mickey in the name,
You've been there.
but
What
I
more
can't
than
think
have.
what it is.
My memory of that shop is I bought a pin there,
Mhm.
and the guy who was behind the till, was wearing heavily makeup and wearing a tiara.
Oh.
And the only reason why I picked up on it was because when we worked at the Disney store, you weren't allowed to have coloured hair.
No.
You weren't allowed to have tattoos showing. You weren't allowed any unique personality.
You couldn't even have coloured nail polish on. Stephen, remember?
Bring that up. I was dressed as Dracula the night before.
Okay.
You were lucky I turned up. I was so hungover that day.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Like,
that was for your first Christmas meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I turned up to a lot of my shifts hungover, so I'm glad you could narrow it down. Yeah, and it was just in that shop, and I was thinking, do you know, and I'm glad that it's changed.
Yeah.
And
and that's
from that
what you
point,
remember
I was
from that shop.
looking at other people, and I saw the tattoos, and I saw the things, and I was like, thank God that Disney are not trying to replicate this Peter Pan and Cinderella image of people.
Yeah.
Because I remember that being one of the things that I just really didn't like.
Yeah.
Like being told to shave that.
Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clean image,
It just really didn't sit right with me. That's all.
But no,
that's my memories of that shop.
Well, the shop, the Beanstalk, obviously, you see parts of it inside as well, and you even see, if you look up, Willie the Giant peeking.
You know what? I'm going to have to look at this.
Oh,
I've
you
never looked around that shop properly.
Well, I'm going to plug somebody else here. So we watch Sam for God. You've seen her as well.
Yes.
She's a really good YouTuber, and she goes to Disneyland Paris a lot. And one of the things she always says when she does videos on specific areas of the park, like restaurants or shops, she says always look up, because you'll find that they do put detail above as well. And when we were in that shop, I think it was in the summer, I made sure that I looked around everywhere, and there's lots of fun little things to do with the film and Mickey in that shop.
Now although I've watched it, as I say, loads of times before, doing it for this podcast, I kind of look more. So I feel like I understand the film more. So I think because we go in.
Well, we both go in March.
Yeah.
But not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
I know, we just miss each other. I know, it's not the first time.
It's like,
Yeah, you're the week after me.
Yeah, and it was. No, you were the week after us last time.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
We always miss.
I know.
Like.
It's weird.
And yet we always go at the same time.
I know. We've ended up accidentally going, just not. It wasn't intentional at first, but we ended up going for Jacob's birthday. Every year. Yeah. Right. Shall we do our overall score?
Yeah, but it's an easy one for me. It's a 2.
Oh, I'm a 3. I'm going to give this a 3. I can watch this like I can watch Snow White.
Yeah, I suppose with kids who like it, I suppose you're more inclined to it. But for me, just if I had to choose a film, no.
If Finlay was to say, Mummy, can we watch the one with the whale? I'd be like, no! Or if it was, Mummy, can we watch the one with Bongo the bear? Yes, darling, let's put Funny Fancy Free on.
Never show him the whale.
So far, this is...
It's the best of the wartime package films. I will say that, and I think it's been my highest score of those films.
I can't remember. I think I gave Three Caballeros a 3. I'm looking back now at my notes. Yes, I did a 3. But again, that has major feels for me. The fact that Finlay watches that. I think it's got. And you know what as well? Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just cut that bit.
No, we won't. I said I'd cut another bit and I forgot to. I think just hear you coughing. Yeah.
I don't know where my train of thought was going to go there, but no, Three Caballeros and this are the ones that I like.
Yeah, it's never gonna do it for me. I think I just like a film to be a film.
Okay.
And I think that's why I didn't like Fantasia and why I didn't like Excludos Amigos and Three Caballeros.
Yeah.
Make My Music was good though. Yeah.
Oh. So remember, guys, let us know your thoughts on Fun and Fancy Free, and did you have it on video as well? Like, did you have Mickey and the Beanstalk 2 on video, or any of the war packages that we've spoken about so far?
Yeah.
You can email us, the Jamie and Stephen Show @outlook.com, or
you could head over to Instagram
at the Jamie and Stephen Show.
Or you could pop over to Threads.
Threads!
Look at you getting excited about Threads. I've seen you post it.
I know. I'm getting into it now. Yeah, it's nice. I like Threads.
Nice.
And we'll see you next week for the 5th wartime package film. Oh, we're nearly there.
We're nearly there. For me, this is the last of the wartime package because
You don't count.
I like Sleepy Hollow. I like that as a story.
Okay.
So I'm very much. That's fine for me.
Oh, that one is going to be really interesting because
We're going to
You'll
change
have
places,
to.
won't we?
I know. I think we're going to be swapping places. So tune in and find out.
Yes.
So next week is Melody time. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks and see you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.